All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Do Hard Things podcast. I'm your host, Jay Teague, certified high performance coach, transformational mindset coach. And in this podcast, we have amazing conversations and talk about a variety of topics to help you improve your life. Today, it's just me. It's just me. And the video and audio may be a little off. If you're listening, I have this on YouTube as well. I live streamed it. And I'm traveling, so I don't have my preferred microphone with me, but that's okay. This is going to be short and sweet, but the content will help you out. I'm just what I'm going to do today is just give you just a quick life update, but I really wanted to entitle this one, Help Others Win, and why that's important. But before we get into that, make sure you smash the subscribe button so you're notified of future episodes. And go on over to dohardthingsnation.com. You can grab yourself some awesome merch. We got hoodies and hats and T-shirts, and this hat that I'm wearing right now, the Do Hard Things patch hat's pretty popular. And every time I go out, I wear this thing. People are like, man, I love that patch. I love what it represents. I love the saying, do hard things. And when you wear something that says do hard things, it reminds you that you got to step up and do the hard things you don't want to do, but the things that are going to drive you to excellence. So, but today's topic. So I'm recording this on 5 December 2022. Lacey and I are traveling. We just flew out to Washington, D.C. I was supposed to run a 100-mile race. It was the Devil Dog Ultra. I wanted to knock out a ultra run. I've never ran anything over a 50K. 50K is 31 miles. This was a 100-mile foot race in the Prince William National Park. It's just outside Quantico, Virginia. But as I really did very well with my trail running and training for the first, let's say, through summer. But as fall approached, a couple of things had happened. I had the opportunity I'm a professor with the University of Research and Development, and the opportunity came to go down to New Zealand to deliver training, high performance training with the outdoor adventure curriculum, which is going to require me to mountain bike and run and hike. And we're jumping off a tower in Auckland, which is going to be terrifying, but awesome. And what I realized was if I run a 100-mile race and then sit on a plane for 24 hours and then expect to deliver training and be on my A game, I'm going to be wrecked. I'm not going to be on my A game. And, they may not have me back, right? I don't want to jeopardize that opportunity. So I need to show up on my A game. So I decided then to downgrade it to the 100K, which is 66 miles. But as the date for the race execution got closer, my training wasn't up to par. I'm like, even running 66 miles, it's going to jeopardize my ability to show up on my A game for this, for what's required of me in New Zealand. And so I'm just going to put pause on this, move it to another day. But my friend Dale Walls is running, so I decided to go and pace him instead. And so what I did, he was running 100 miles, and I paced him for 21 miles. I started there's basically 5 laps. They're approximately 20 miles apiece, and he could have a pacer on laps 3, 4, and 5. And so I met up with him. He started at 6 o'clock in the morning. I think I started around, 5 o'clock, 5:30 at night, I think. And yeah, basically ran with him for about 6 or 7 hours. And it was a tough trail, beautiful trail, but definitely tough. It was single track, like mountain bike trail. And it was an incredibly tough course. In fact, there were about almost 60 runners, maybe just over 60 runners for the 100 mile, and over half of them DNF'd. And Dale decided on his third lap, as he approached the 100K, to call it, because his legs were just they were just not. He just didn't have it. He was good mentally, but the body and the legs just weren't there, and decided to call it at respectable, incredible 100K, which is 62 miles. So incredible effort, and he's already planning his comeback next year to get that 100 miler, and I'm going to do the same if all lines up. So that's the plan. So, but what I was thinking about is, I could have easily just called the whole trip and not went, but it served me the days leading up to it. I had the thought of, what can I do if I think that I'm not going to run the race, or there's an opportunity to do, what would be better use of my time? And I thought the better use would be to help my friend Dale. Dale is the founder over at Lions Guide, and I've been working with him over there as the high performance director. And I'm like, you know what? I want to help another teammate achieve their goals. So I'm going to sacrifice myself and go help him achieve his. And it just felt really good. It feels really good to be selfless, to help others win. And I think that's it's incredibly important to be selfless. I think that you can find a lot of meaning and the sense of contribution. We talk a lot about contribution and high performance habits, because I think humans are biologically wired to be there to contribute. There are tigers in the animal kingdom, and there are wolves. And I think that humans are more like wolves. If you see a tiger out and about, tigers usually hunt alone. They go out there and they're hunting their prey. They spend a lot of time alone. They're stalking alone. Every now and then they'll come out of the woods to go find other tigers to go mate with, to expand the species, but then they go back to themselves. Whereas wolves, they hunt in packs, and they rely on each other's skills to help each other in packs. And they maneuver in packs. And humans are very much like that. But I think biologically we're wired, the caveman in us, the tribe in us, we're designed to work together as a team. So I think that's why we find so much fulfillment inside of us, is because we need that sense of contribution to help others. And so by sacrificing your own needs, but to do something for someone else is incredibly meaningful. So help others overcome their challenges and just use your strengths and abilities to help others. So my question to you is, who in your life do you look around and inventory your family, your friends, maybe someone you're working with, a colleague, maybe a supervisor, or someone that you up the chain of command? How can you support them? What can you do to sacrifice yourself to support them and help them win? And I'm telling you, when the more often you're willing to put yourself out there to help other people win, you're going to build an endless pool of community of people that will want to return the favor to you in some way. And oftentimes, you've heard me talk about that, your success will be dependent upon the amount of people that you could pick up the phone and call at 3:00 in the morning, and they'll drop everything to be there for you. Well, when you help other people win, when you help other people achieve everything that the things that they want to achieve in life, you're gonna have people that are willing to return the favor for you. And the more people like that you have in your life that are willing to do that, the more success you will find in life. And so I think it's incredibly important to do that. And so, yeah, it was awesome. Although Dale didn't make the 100-miler, he did make it to the 100K, which was awesome. It was a great feeling. And, he was content with that. And it felt really good for me to be there with him to achieve that milestone, because that was the furthest he ever ran. And that was awesome. And the rest of the trip was pretty cool. As far as, Lacey and I, we went to the Marine Corps Museum, which if you ever get a chance to go to Quantico and check that out, that was awesome. We went, drove around Quantico, Virginia. So it's interesting to see a Marine Corps base as opposed to an Army base. We went over to see where the FBI trained. We saw the DEA where they trained. Pretty well blocked off. You couldn't see much, but it was interesting to see the location of that. And then we drove over to Manassas, Virginia, to see the battlefield. And there were two battles in Manassas. Manassas was the Battle of Bull Run, the very first battle of the Civil War. So it was interesting to see that perspective. It's the only place where you're going to see there's a lot of cannons involved, but they were really, really close to one another, and very unique compared to the other battles of the Civil War. And that was due to the inexperience of both sides. And ultimately 5,000 soldiers had lost their life there. But that was the very first battle of the Civil War. And then again, Manassas happened again later in the war, much bigger battle. And but that was really interesting to see. So if you ever get a chance to go check that out, that was awesome. And yeah, that was pretty much sums up the trip. We're back in Lacey and I are in St. Louis now, and I'm heading off to New Zealand, and she's going on to the next part of her journey. But that was it. We wanted to knock out a quick podcast, And that was the topic that was kind of near and dear to my heart at the moment. And something I've been really thinking is help others win. And how can you help others win? And we'll often do more for other people than we will ourselves. So if you can tie in what you want to achieve to helping someone else, that's another layer of accountability. But sometimes, you know what? It's just all right to sacrifice your personal goals and dreams just to help someone else. Like I said, oftentimes that you'll increase, you'll deposit into that relationship, and you'll get something out of it. You'll get fulfillment out of that, and who knows? It'll probably circle back around in some other way where they will help support you in your goals. So that's it. That's it for this short and sweet episode of the Do Hard Things podcast. Wherever you are, I wish you well. Keep doing hard things. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Go over to dohardthingsnation.com. Check out the latest and greatest over there. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Keep doing hard things.